Hey everybody, welcome to another lesson of learning Japanese. Today we're going to cover the grammar pattern that is the verb omou, which means to think, to feel basically, plus the phrasing yo ni, plus the negative night form of another verb of your choosing to basically mean does not verb as desired. So as you might be able to tell from the title of the grammar pattern itself, this construction is going to be used to express that a certain action does not perform or go about happening as according to one's desires. But as you won't be able to tell just from the title of the grammar pattern, more often than not, we're going to be using the potential form of a verb, which is then going to be conjugated into its respective negative night form, like the grammar pattern denotes. But the non-potential form of a verb can also be used in some circumstances, and in that case, the non-potential form is basically just going to translate to the dictionary form, which will then need to be conjugated again into the negative night form, like the grammar pattern title denotes. Well, what does that mean in simpler terms? Well, let's first reiterate what the grammar pattern functions as. This is going to be something that you express when you say something didn't happen as you desired. And if we take a look at this in English, we'll also see that at times the potential form of a verb is going to be used, and at other times the non-potential form of a verb is going to be used. For example, you could say, because I was short on time, I could not write my essay as desired or as I wished. We can see here that could not write is using the potential form of the verb write in its negative form. On the other hand, if we use that exact same phrase and we said did not write instead, I was short on time, so I did not write my essay as wished or as I desired, there's a pretty different meaning between that and the previous example, in which the previous example sounds more natural and appropriate given the context of a time constraint, making it so that you couldn't write your essay like you desired, as opposed to you just not writing it like desired based on your own whim or something like that. Another example to show how the non-potential form may seem more natural or appropriate is if we say the plan didn't go as I desired or as I wished, as opposed to the plan could not proceed as I wished or as I desired. There's some pretty different meanings here. In the first one, where we just say did not proceed as desired, we kind of get the feeling that all the necessary things were prepared, but just because of some unforeseen circumstances, the plan did not go as desired. In the latter case, in which the plan could not go as desired, well, that's kind of saying that it was kind of doomed from the start, which doesn't really make sense because at that point maybe you should have just canceled going through with the plan in the first place. And so yeah, with that we kind of get an idea of how we can use both the potential form of a verb and a non-potential form of the verb to employ into this grammar pattern to express how something did not or could not go as desired. So with that said, now let's just jump into some examples and get some Japanese into this. So for our first example sentence, we have the line Audition de omou you ni hikenakatta. And what this simple line is going to translate to is just basically I could not play as well as I wished at the audition. Let's break down the sentence bit by bit. First up, we have audition, and this is going to be basically audition. We have de marking the audition as the place in which an action was performed. We're going to employ the grammar pattern right away. Now we have omou you ni, so as I desired, as wished. Then now we choose our verb that we're going to use, and it's going to be the verb hiku, which means to play an instrument basically. However, we're going to use the potential form of hiku and then conjugate that into the negative night form. So hiku turns into hikenai. Then we're going to change that into the past plain tense. So hikenai turns into hikenakatta, and there that is going to translate to could not play. Add that to the rest of the sentence and we have I could not play as desired or as well as I wanted to at the audition. So that's pretty simple. So moving on to our next example sentence, we have the line Kyokasho no kanji ga omou you ni yomenai. And this is going to be a present tense sentence, unlike the previous one that was in the past tense, and this line is going to translate to basically I can't read the kanji in this textbook as well as I wish I could. So let's break down the sentence bit by bit. First up we have kyokasho, and this is going to translate to basically textbook. We have the particle no employing this noun of a noun modification here. So kyokasho no kanji is going to basically be the kanji of the textbook, the kanji inside of the textbook, and kanji of course is going to be the Chinese characters. We're going to use the particle ga instead of o on kanji here because we're going to be using the potential form of a verb. But before we do that, we're going to employ the grammar pattern now, so we insert the phrasing omou you ni, and now we use our verb that we want to use, which is going to be the verb yomu, change it into its potential form, conjugate that into the negative nai form, so yomu turns into yomenai. And yomenai will be can't read, mix that with the rest of the sentence, can't read the kanji in the textbook as desired, or as well as I wish I could. For our last example sentence, we have yet another pretty simple line, and it reads, 人生は思うようにいかない. And so this last example is going to be an example of us using the non-potential form of a verb in the grammar pattern. And this line will translate to just, life does not go as wished or as desired. Let's break down the sentence bit by bit. First up, we have jinsei, which is going to be life. We have wa marking jinsei as the topic of the sentence. We have the grammar pattern now, omou yo ni, as desired, as wished. Then we simply have the verb iku in its nai form, ikanai. So this is not the potential form, so basically the negative nai form of the dictionary form of iku, which means to go, so that is going to be does not go. Then we combine that with life and as desired, so life does not go as desired as one wishes. And so yeah, that's how we're using this grammar pattern, omou yo ni plus the negative nai form of a verb to mean does not verb as desired.